Hi and welcome to Stories and Stuff. Have you ever dreamt of going to the moon? Well, you might enjoy this book. It's called Man on the Moon, A Day in the Life of Bob. While you're watching, watch out, see if you can see any aliens hidden in the story.
Stories and Stuff, the home of bedtime stories.
This is Bob. Perhaps you've heard people talk of him. You may know him better as the Man on the Moon. This is where Bob lives. Every morning he rises at 6 o'clock. He has a cup of tea and 2 eggs for breakfast before leaving for the rocket launch pad. On the way he stops to buy a newspaper and some chocolate toffees. He's on his way to work. On the moon. By 8 o'clock Bob arrives at the launch pad, changes into his special Man on the Moon suit and boards his fantastic rocket ship. He must make sure he leaves by 9:15, otherwise he wouldn't make it to the moon by 9. On the way he reads the newspaper and does the crossword. Bob starts work. His job as Man on the Moon is very important. He has to keep the moon clean and tidy. Quite often astronauts drop sweet packets and cans. Some people say that aliens are responsible for much of the rubbish, but Bob knows that's not true. There's no such thing as aliens. By 12:30 it's time to eat. Bob goes to his rocket ship to fetch his lunchbox. This usually contains 2 sandwiches, either cheese or peanut butter, an apple and some chocolate-covered nuts. Sometimes he meets his friends for a picnic. His 2 best friends are Billy, the man on Mars, and Sam, the man on Saturn. They talk about the stars and tell jokes. After lunch, tourist spaceships start arriving from Earth. It is part of Bob's job to entertain them and give them something to photograph. So he does somersaults, handstands, and especially high moon jumps. Sometimes he performs for as long as 2 hours and is left quite out of puff. Occasionally, the tourist spaceships will land on the moon. When they do, Bob gives them a guided tour and a speech. He tells them lots of facts, such as how many craters the moon has or how long it takes to walk around it on stilts. Sometimes people ask him about aliens, but Bob explains patiently there aren't any. Afterwards, Bob opens a small souvenir stand selling postcards, pencils, mugs and small plastic moon models. By 4:30, all visitors must leave the moon. Bob looks around to see that everyone has left. He checks inside any big craters in case anyone has fallen in, but there's never anyone in there. The working day is nearly over. It is time to check everything is in order before leaving for the night. Bob packs away his equipment and any unsold souvenirs into his rocket. He switches on the moon's nightlight before jetting off towards Earth. By this time he's very tired, but he still has to keep his wits about him while flying the rocket. As he reaches Earth, it's about 5 o'clock. The rush hour is in full swing with everyone leaving work and going home, just like Bob. At home, Bob is just like anyone else. First, he has a long bath. Moon work can make you very grubby, as sometimes the dust can get inside your suit. Then he goes to bed with a mug of cocoa. He sleeps soundly, bathed in moonbeams, very happy to be the Man on the Moon. And aliens? Well, Bob would know if there were any, wouldn't he? And that was Man on the Moon. Do you believe, Bob, that there aren't any aliens?
Like and subscribe for more stories soon.